Do you really know that you can cook egusi soup, very lumpy egusi soup, without frying your melon? Get in here, guys. Let's cook. Let me show you the simple way to achieve this. So guys, in my pot of boiling protein, my protein is already well steamed. Now I added a little water to my melon, making it a paste. You can see how sticky, very thick and sticky it is. So in my pot of boiling steamed protein, I just started adding my egusi bit by bit. You can see the way I'm doing it, just bit by bit. And the only way to achieve this is to make a paste from your melon. Put your melon in a bowl, add a very little water and allow it to rise by itself. It will be this thickened, and guess what? Automatically becomes a melon paste. So I now added it into the pot bit by bit, guys. Now after adding it into the pot, you don't stir it though, you dare not stir it. I cover it to cook through, and you observe I did not add palm oil, because palm oil will not allow it to come together. The moment I realized it has come together, I now added my palm oil. One thing you shouldn't add when doing this: don't add crayfish, don't add palm oil, because the moment you do, palm oil will help your egusi to separate itself. Crayfish too will do the same thing. So now I added my palm oil. I now put my spoon, stir it gently, because I don't want it to stick under the pot, guys. You know, melon can be very funny. Egusi can be very funny, guys. So I now stir it a little, cover it again to cook through. You know, you have to monitor it. I kept monitoring my soup. At this point, I can stir it anyhow I want, because my egusi is now well cooked. See guys, I now added my crayfish. I have achieved my purpose. My egusi at this point is very lumpy. So crayfish or palm oil cannot separate or scatter it for me again. Oh. So after adding crayfish, guys, I now stir for crayfish to incorporate into my soup very well. And I tested it to know if the crayfish I added is actually enough. Tell me, what is sweet egusi soup without enough crayfish? I stir and tested. So when I looked at the pot of my soup, it wasn't really giving me that inviting looks. That's how I now top up with a little palm oil again, just to give it that inviting looks. You know, when you make egusi and you don't have enough palm oil in it, it looks anyhow. Just tell me what you think it looks like down in the comment section. So guys, after adding crayfish, I added my small palm oil again to bring out the inviting looks of my soup, and then I tested again. I just needed to add a cube of seasoning. You know why? Steaming my protein, I used enough seasoning to steam my protein and salt, so that when I add my egusi, it can just incorporate into my egusi at once. So after I added a cube of seasoning, I stirred and tested again to understand if it is actually up to the frequency I'm expecting. I kept on testing. Yes, the first time I tested to know if the seasoning is okay. The second time I tested to know if the salt is okay. Now you see this third time, I want to know if I still need to add pepper. At this point, everything is just very alright. I put off the heat and then added my ugu leaves. You know what? When anything that has to do with ugu leaves, adding vegetable leaves to my soup, I can never do it on heat, because you see me, it must be greenish and fresh. I love fresh meals. I don't like boring meals for any reason. So I just put off the heat and then added my ugu leaves. Stir everything to incorporate. Oh my God, can you see my goodness? See my goodness. You see now, I stir my soup anyhow I want. My egusi is already lumpy, guys. I tested it to understand the taste of my egusi combined with my ugu leaves. This is yummy. This is very, very tasty. It's sweet. Oh, I just kept tasting. Indirectly at this point, check out this goodness, guys. Have you seen my pot of goodness? What do you think?